We're going live. This is Abraham DeWeese with Seattle Sports Union, along with Brian, the Soul Man. Solack, how's it going, Brian?
Good. How are you guys doing?
And Matt Page is here, too. Matt Page! What's up, dude?
What's up?
We're doing good. Yes, I forgot about Matt Page. He's right there. We are sitting in the mile-high seats of, what is this stadium called?
Everett Memorial Stadium.
Okay, we're at the we're pretty much at the top of the stadium.
Matthew Page has lots of memories here, by the way.
Yes, as Matthew watches these young high school boys playing football. Or maybe that's not where you have the correct memory of. But
for the record, it was when I was in high school.
Oh, okay. We are actually waiting for the Everett Aqua-Sox game to start. That Aqua-Sox game starts at 7 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, 7 o'clock. And our friend from the Seattle Opera, Ian Loney, will be performing the national anthem.
Not just our friend, sometimes contributor to Seattle Sports Union, back on our show on YouTube, and has written some columns for us in the past as well.
Rumor has it he has a great voice. Is that what I heard?
That's not rumor. That is actual fact. And again, he's with the Seattle Opera, and he is, I don't know, I think he's a tenor? I don't know.
I can personally vouch for him singing a very quality version of Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
We have that on film.
We have it on film on Facebook.
Yes, we do.
As well, yes.
All right, guys. Let's stop pumping up our friend. He's going to start thinking we like him. All right. We are Seattle Sports Union, and we have our credentials here, and we're ready to go inside and see the Aqua-Sox. But I want to talk about a football game. That's right, preseason football. I want to talk a little bit about our Seattle Seahawks, who went all the way over to Minnesota and took on those Minnesota Vikings. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was a very bad game by us. The offensive line did a terrible job. The defense didn't really have no pass rush. Pretty much the only highlight of the game was Deshaun Shedd returning the interception for a touchdown, in my opinion.
I'd have to agree there were a lot of mistakes. I mean, luckily it is a preseason game, and that's when we make those mistakes and when we can figure out what we're doing wrong. There were some players that I had hoped to see that I didn't. Still, some of them are out on injury. Some of them were just ghosts. Gary Jennings just remains to be a ghost.
You know, Matt, you bring a great point about Gary Jennings Jr. He only had one target in the game. I don't understand why he didn't get the ball. I believe out of the wide receivers, he had the second most snaps. One target. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and the thing is everything I read about him is in camp. They're loving him, and they're saying he's gotten past the bump of adjustment, and he's an amazing contributor in camp, but it just hasn't shown on the field yet, and I'm hoping that comes through. But one other player I want a quick note on before I hand it off to you, Solack, is Rashad Penny has continued to kind of disappoint me overall. I'm still not sold on him. This is a first-round pick. He's now done 12 attempts for 13 yards on the preseason. And
on Sunday night, -2 yards.
Seriously? That's terrible.
That is seriously terrible, yes. I agree wholeheartedly. First-round pick, what the heck is going on with him? So like you were talking about the offensive line, it wasn't good enough.
No, they weren't. The starting five started, and they could barely move the ball. I think all 8 running backs combined for 80 yards the entire game rushing.
Was Iapati, however you say his name, was he not out there?
He was not. He was
so
still
it wasn't the starting 5 then.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Just want to say that.
The current starting 5.
So you two were not that impressed by the first 2 series by the offense. They did move it up and down the field.
I think that's due to Russell Wilson, and otherwise, I don't think they did that great of a job. I'd give them a C+, if that.
I did like what I saw out of. I want to make a note of Tyler Lockett in the slot in Baldwin's old spot. There was a few plays there where he found the seam, he found the perfect spot, he did well. Jerron Brown looked good, made some nice plays, but we know what we've got from those guys, and we know what we've got from Russell Wilson. Once again demonstrating if we lose Russell Wilson, this team is lost for the season. That's for most teams.
I got a quick question. That tight end from UW last year, is he back healthy?
Will Dissly is back healthy, but he's not playing. It goes back into what Matt was saying. We're not going to be seeing him because we know what he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a blocking back primarily, and he's extremely good at it. But yeah, we know what we've got there. It's a known quantity, and preseason is about finding out what else we have.
So one thing that we did get to see what we have, that was Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch had an amazing first game against those evil Denver Broncos, but against the Vikings, he was 6 of 15, had sub 100 yards, got in a little bit of a thunder bender with the cornerback from the Vikings and concussion.
Yeah, he got smashed pretty good.
Do you think maybe the Denver game was motivation to spite his old team?
That could be, but I think he still should be back up on this team. I think he's playing better than what we got.
Yeah, there's a lot of motivation in beating Denver. I think also the Vikings are just a better defense. You're looking at a top 5 defense in the NFL. Additionally, Paxton Lynch has kind of historically been scattershot as to whether he's any good or isn't. What I think we've found out is he's just a guy.
Well, you're right. Consistency has never been a hallmark of his game, unfortunately, and that was just him being him, I guess. Being inconsistent.
And I want to say something about the defense. I thought our secondary did a bad job too. Our starting secondary, Flowers and what's his face? I can't think of his name right now. I was so angry watching that game.
I have to say the pass interference by Flowers in what was the first quarter or whatever it was, that was like a 45-yard penalty. I don't agree with that penalty at all. I think, and apparently this year they're allowing pass interferences to be reviewed by challenge flag, and unfortunately Pete had thrown the flag the play before, literally. I think Pete should have saved his flag, and he should have thrown it for that play because I
agree that penalty was bogus. I agree.
He had his left hand on him, and that's why the ref. I mean, I can see why the ref called it. But under review, there wasn't enough weight to the hand, and that he wasn't influencing him at all.
I think the big thing that bothers me is that you take a look at Shaquille Griffin. You take a look at Trey Flowers. They faced Diggs, right, and Thielsen. Those are the two of the better receivers in the league. Yeah. They did not. They didn't stack up. And that's what you're going to get this season.
Unfortunately, they're not very intimidating. One other player I want to talk about, who's the guy from Oregon that they got? They have him on defense. They say he may play safety, and he's doing returns, and he's all over special teams. He was all over the field. Amani,
yes.
I like that kid.
Ugo Amani.
Not Amandi or Amago or
however
Umaga.
many different spellings you've tried to write his name in. It's Ugo Amani. Yes, he was a third or fourth.
Ugo Amadi was a fourth.
Yeah, fourth rounder. Very, very good for Oregon, and I was very happy that we picked him because he does fit the mold of that Pete Carroll likes.
And I have an article that's going up on SeattleSportsUnion.com that's a rookie report. Third one's coming out, and I wrote in it, just a quick preview for everybody out there, that Ugo Amadi is the starting day gunner on the punt coverage team. Very likely he could be the starting day punt returner. And I don't see him as a starter on the defense, but they have been playing him at free safety and at cornerback and at nickelback as well. Haven't seen a lot of him on TV as far as making plays at those positions, but there's a lot of people that are trying to shuffle in and out to get good looks at.
Wow, high reviews, nice.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll doesn't stop singing his praises. The dude's already won his spot. He is on the team. It's a sure thing.
Did you guys see DK Metcalf got injured? And did you see that Jazz Ferguson looked terrible? Did you guys see that? Because that's what I saw. A lot of it. I saw 7 targets on Jazz Ferguson, and he caught 2, and one was a fumble. Luckily, he got recovered. And then what did we see from DK Metcalf? Well, we saw the ambulance come out and haul him off. I don't know if let me put it this way. I'm kind of glad the hype is dead for both of these guys. Now they can just try to earn it instead of having to be bestowed as the next big thing.
Good point, Say, but you got me sold on DK Metcalf. I think he's going to do well here. And that his surgery, yesterday was they found basically nothing. Yeah, minimal. So.
The other area of focus is running back. With Petty being god awful. We're apparently for week 3 we are getting back McKissick and Procise, and they'll be playing, and so we'll see what we're going to get. And I think this is Procyse's last shot. I don't think he's going to make the team personally, but I am looking forward to seeing McKissick back. I want to get him in rotations, and I personally right now, in terms of what I've seen in the last year and a half, I put McKissick ahead of Penny on the depth chart.
Cool. I got a question for you. Actually, speaking about running backs, we got to see a guy named Xavier Turner. I kind of wrote in my article. I didn't kind of wrote. I did write. I'm going to take ownership of this.
Yes.
He's just a camp guy, right?
He was cut by the Cardinals, I believe. Yeah, he was cut by the Cardinals and signed by us literally like the day before week 1 of preseason. And he's done well for us in the preseason games. Who knows? Maybe he'll take that very last running back slot. He's been when he's had the ball, he's definitely giving it his all. But he's, Carlson is by far our number one guy, and they still seem invested. I think it's a sunk cost fallacy situation with Rashad Penny. He'll be carried at least for the rest of this season.
Where's this guy played college ball at, real quick?
Turner?
Yeah,
I don't.
Tarleton State out of Division II out of Texas.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Didn't he start? Is he the guy who went to like LSU and then transferred out of LSU? That's a wide receiver I'm thinking of.
That was Jazz Ferguson, but he was kicked out of a college, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Good endorsement. Yeah. He might make practice squad. He has been making the most of what he gets. So.
All right, we're going to switch over and we're going to talk about the opponent this year, the Atlanta Falcons. Thank you for that. I know I'm going blind here.
Yes, Seahawks are playing in the Atlanta Falcons, yes.
Tell us a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons.
What would you like to know?
I would like to know about their offense.
You would like to know about their offense?
They had a down year last year. What do you think?
Quarterback? Their quarterback? Well, last year you could hardly tell who anybody was on the field was because of injury. They missed the playoffs. Take a look at this list. I wrote it down. They lost that really good safety, Canu Neal. They lost Deion Jones, the linebacker, that all-world linebacker. Ricardo Allen, running backs, Devonta Freeman and Ito Smith. Do you know why I know they lost Devonta Freeman? Because I had him on fantasy. That's how I knew that was. Yes, of course they would get him injured. But the list just keeps going. DT, Grady Jarrett, DN, Derek Shelby, offensive linemen Andy Levitre and Brandon Fuso. Even their kicker was injured, and their long snapper, Josh Harris, was injured, and Matt Ryan, of course, was injured. So anybody looking to draft fantasy football, any Atlanta Falcons players, I warn them.
How about Julio Jones? Wasn't he a little hurt last year?
No, actually, Julio Jones
did he play a full season?
But he was gonna like not play.
Okay.
Because he was trying to get that big contract. So yeah, All Pro Julio Jones come back, but they also had Mohamed Sanu and Calvin Ridley, the rookie out of Georgia. And a lot of the
Ridley's out of Alabama, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. It's some SEC. Yeah. Hey, SEC out there. I don't watch your stupid games. I don't care. So whatever. Yeah, I know. What do you mean? I know. The reason why I don't watch SEC is because for some reason my TV is stuck on ACC football, and I haven't figured that out yet.
Go Duke, apparently.
Okay.
I want to know more about Matt Ryan. Is he going to throw 5,000 yards this year?
Well, of course. Take a look at these stats from last year. Jones, even though he, was complaining about his contract and whatnot, had 113 receptions for 1,600 yards. That is 5 straight seasons of 1,400 yards receiving.
Moly.
And then we all know Mohamed Sanu from his Bengals days. He's a good compliment. And Calvin Ridley had 10 touchdowns as a rookie, and that's almost unreasonable.
He's getting comparisons to Julio Jones. Do you believe that? Do you think he's going to have a breakout year?
I think that's the reason why they didn't give Julio Jones a contract. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't mind him going away. But yeah, I do like Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. Like you said, he had a down season last year. But guess who the offensive coordinator is, Matt, from your ASU Sun Devils?
The offensive coordinator from my ASU Sun Devils?
Well, nobody really wants to claim him, but
my dad does. My dad is a Sun Devil, and he's proud of it for some reason.
Okay, so who is the offensive coordinator, former head coach of ASU?
Is it Dennis Erickson?
No, that's actually not bad.
Good guess.
Yeah. Dirk Cutter.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Dirk Cutter, offensive coordinator, genius, has bounced around the league and turned offenses around. Didn't really do the job at Arizona State, but head coach is a different thing in college than it is in the pros.
How are they looking at running back? Is Devonta Freeman back healthy?
Yeah, he's back, but Tevin Coleman isn't, which if they just did that last year, I would have got more yards out of Freeman. If Coleman had just gotten injured or left, that would have been great.
If you didn't know, this is the podcast where Abraham laments all his fantasy football losses.
It's only just begun. Matt Bryant, he's a longtime kicker in the NFL, and he played for them last year. He was hurt. They let him go, but a rumor has it they're going to bring him back. Have you heard that?
Yeah, they didn't bring him back. No,
but I heard rumors that they're not unhappy with what they got.
Okay. So here's the thing: is unless you have Justin Tucker or Greg Zuerlein, you pretty much got the same guy. You look at the Seahawks and what they got when they had Blair Walsh. They tried to skimp and not pay Hauschka, and what do you get?
Yeah.
You get a couple of lost games because of that joker. That's why they went back to this Myers guy. And the Jets are going to suffer. Was it the Jets? Is that where he went?
Jets, yeah.
Yeah, the Jets are going to suffer because they didn't keep him. And so it was stupid. The Falcons are stupid. They shouldn't have done this. And when you play Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks, the score is going to be within 7 points.
Oh, absolutely.
Either way. So you need those 3 points.
So on defense, is everybody coming back healthy? Did they sign anybody in the offseason?
Everybody's coming back healthy. The big thing for them is they're keeping their guys. The problem is, by the way, can I go back to the offense for just 1 second? Matt Page? Do you remember which former USC and UW head coach used to be their offensive coordinator?
The drunkard, Steve Sarkisian.
Wow, alleged drunkard.
No, he wasn't alleged.
Oh, okay.
He was in treatment for it, and he got fired from USC because of it.
Yeah, him. So I think their offense will be better because Sarkisian's not the offensive coordinator. But I think the defense is going to be.
Wait, you mean the offensive coordinator will know not to just continuously run 3-and-out pass plays and blow a Super Bowl win?
Oh yeah, when you're up by almost 3 touchdowns. Yeah. What do we do? Well, let's not run the clock out or anything. But no, what I was going to say is the defense should be better because Dan Quinn, the head coach, is going to take over the defensive operations, and that's going to be a lot more work for him. But that's what he knows, and that's what he loves. And I think when he released control of that a couple years ago, it didn't look like his defense anymore.
Okay, so is he going to have any say in the offense, or is it going to get full control to
Full control goes to Dirk Cutter.
Okay.
Dirk Cutter's pretty much he's a head coach of the offense. Is what he essentially is. Quinn will obviously he'll make the call like on 4th and 1, go for it or not. But Cutter will decide what the play is, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think their defense is going to be better just because they have everybody back. Deion Jones being the most important thing. You guys remember the guy named Desmond Trufant?
I was just going to ask about him. Is he still there?
He's still there, and he's doing well. But the Falcons were ranked 27th in pass defense last year. But I think with Dan Quinn and the way he has a track record of rushing the quarterback, they're going to do a lot better.
I agree. Okay, so do you think the Hawks are going to beat them?
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if that's possible. The Seahawks just don't. They don't have the pass rush what we saw against the Vikings to stop Matt Ryan in this offensive aerial attack.
Well said. Well said.
All right, guys. I want to move over to the Pac-12. Every week we've been doing a different Pac-12 team of the week, and this team that we're looking at is the Arizona Wildcats. Those guys out of Tucson who are actually, Matt, they're playing their first game this Saturday.
Yes, they are against Hawaii, and I want to compliment you for not making them my team, apparently. Because apparently ASU is my team also.
Okay, it's your dad's team. I'll say that in the future. I'll make sure that I refer to the ASU.
Okay.
Actually, I should refer to the Arizona Wildcats as my dad's team. Because,
there you go.
Because he went there and got his master's there.
That's a good school.
Yeah. I want you to take us around the Wildcats. I want to start off with the most famous person at the Wildcats. That's Khalil Tate, right?
Yeah, the entire team.
Would they let him run, please? Last year,
Last year he got banged up.
Yeah, well, last year Summerlin came in and made him a pocket quarterback, and thus he got banged up.
Well, he got banged up when he was running. Summerlin came in after being fired from Texas A&M, and he brought the SEC mentality and all that, and he's going to upgrade here and there. I don't know. We'll see about that. But yes, Khalil Tate is, in my opinion, probably the most exciting to watch quarterback in the Pac-12 in terms of fun. Just watching him play is amazing. He's incredibly talented. The sky is the limit. A Heisman wasn't out of the question, although now he's entering his senior year and he's had some injuries, so we'll see if he can put it all together this coming season.
So he's facing the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii this week,
and he should butcher them completely.
And this would be an opportunity both for Khalil Tate. This is an opportunity for Khalil Tate, for the Arizona Wildcats, and for the Pac-12 to show off, right?
A little bit, but it is Hawaii, so
But there's only 2 games that day, right? Miami and Florida.
Miami and Florida, and then but I think the game is at like 7:00 our time on the Pacific Coast.
Oh, so that's midnight or whatever the heck it is.
So it's still not
10
going to
o'clock.
showcase us like you're hoping. So some changes. He's got Mazzone, one of the Mazzones. I'm forgetting which one. What his first name is, I'm forgetting, but he's offensive coordinator. He coached under Jim Mora for a while and ran Brett Hundley. So they're trying to install that kind of mobile quarterback while still being pass first, but dangerous on his feet, and that kind of fits Khalil Tate in terms of if you want to keep him healthy.
Now the Wildcats led the Pac-12 in rushing last year. Was it just all Khalil Tate, or was there some?
It was partly Khalil Tate, and it was mostly J.J. Taylor. This is a little guy. He's 5'5", 5'6", and he is elusive as hell. And he's got something like 2,600 rushing yards already in his career. He's on pace to be one of the very, very, very few rushers that ever reach 5,000 in his career, and he might make it. He's very good.
Cool. So Khalil Tate's also known for his arm. He can sling it a country mile. Who does he got to 30 this year?
That's the question mark. There's a whole brand new.
Who is the question?
Yeah, they lost a couple guys graduation, and the other guy, the depth pieces from last year were kind of meh. So it's kind of a situation of waiting to see who steps forward. There's a lot of new talent in there, and there's reasons for optimism, but it's going to be up to Tate to step up and connect with bond with these wide receivers and try and form a connection and make something work.
So Arizona Wildcats were up and down last year a lot. The strength of their team is that ground game, which eases a lot of pressure off their defense, right?
Yeah, it does, because their defense blows. Sorry, there's no better way to put it. I
like the large exhale.
Yeah, I was blowing while I was saying it. Their defensive line did not stop the run at all last year, at all. And their 2 primary run stoppers and tacklers on the line graduated, and so they're not going to get any better there.
Isn't there's one guy that had almost 120 tackles though on defense? He's back.
I think you're talking about Colin Schiller. Colin Schiller, he's the anchor of that linebacker core, which is probably the best linebacker core in the Pac-12. There's some returning guys from there. They've got a really, really solid linebacker core, and he can stop the run too. But he needs help. And in the secondary, they've got they've got a hot corner that they like, Whitaker, who missed all of last season except for he got hurt in the very first series of the season last year. He missed all of the rest of the season. He's back. They're excited about his potential and rejuvenating. And they got some solid dudes in the secondary, but that front line is just Swiss cheese.
What is it? Is it too small? Is it too young? What do you think?
It's partly too small, and partly they haven't recruited a big talent there.
Yeah, I was listening to Rick Neuheisel. Yeah, I know a lot of people out there like, ugh. But
single-handedly destroyed 3 football programs in the Pac-12?
We can have this argument. He did not destroy the UW program. He didn't recruit well enough. But
he forced you guys to hire the worst of the worst.
Yeah, Willingham would have ruined it with or without Neuheisel's help.
Anyway,
no, Neuheisel. He definitely has he has some baggage, but he has a lot of great insight. And I don't know if you guys ever listen to him on broadcasts. He's really, really smart. And by the way, he was Flacco's QB coach at one point. But anyway,
really?
Yeah. Anyway,
I knew that, but okay.
Let me get back to the point. The point is...
I'm waiting for the point. That's what I'm waiting for.
The point is that he brought up that Summerlin came in, the head coach came in, looking at this team and trying to make it, like you said, an SEC team, and that talent isn't there. This team was built by Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, still Rick Rod's team.
Yeah, Rick Rod's team is a up-tempo, semi-Chip Kelly-esque team, right? And Summerlin came in, decided he's going to run an SEC conservative offense, and we'll hold them with our defense. But that's not what you have. You have a whole defense made to stop Oregon and UCLA. Just these up-tempo teams.
Grind out defense.
Yeah, and so you're just going to have to wait several years. And I don't think Summerlin has the charm that maybe, or the recruiting base that maybe a Chip Kelly has, and it concerns me about that team.
You need to remember that Summerlin made his name and as a Texas A&M by handing the offense to Johnny Football. Okay, so I think he kind of came in with the same mentality. He was going to hand the ball to Tate and just not worry about it and let him do his magic work.
Well, actually, but I watched,
and then focus on the defense.
But I watched several games, and they try to make Tate a pocket quarterback.
Yeah, because he was hurt. He was banged up. He was playing hurt for most of the season last year, and so they were trying to protect him. And they probably would have been better off sitting him for 2 games and letting him heal, and then go back to his regular game. But they didn't do that because they were trying to win.
What do you foresee from this team?
What I foresee is
this year and years to come.
Well, this year I'd say 6 to 7 wins. I'd say Tate is gonna show some flashes that remind us of past. Arizona's always had some interesting quarterbacks. In the past, Willie Tuitama, I knew Sullivan was the last one that was really fun to watch. They've always had some interesting quarterbacks, and he's going to remind us of that. And Solack's got something to say.
Is Tate a senior finally? It seems like he's been on the program for like 6-8 years.
Yeah, this is his final years. He's got something to prove. And the Heisman mentions earlier in his career, he's gonna have to put up or shut up. And I think you may be surprised with him this year.
I don't have any great love for the Wildcats. I mean, they're just a team to me that the Huskies need to beat, hopefully. But for the Pac-12's sake, to have some buzz around somebody who could actually potentially win the Heisman, I'm kind of rooting for them to slaughter the Rainbow Warriors. Get some buzz going.
Yeah, hopefully. They're not my team, like you said, I've never really viewed them as anything else. But I always kind of had a soft spot and root for them.
The Huskies have a chance?
I think the Huskies will win.
Does Wazoo have a chance?
Wazoo doesn't play them.
Oh, so they have no chance.
And,
so they have zero chance of winning because they don't play it.
And the Wildcats come to Autzen Stadium, so they will lose to Oregon as well.
Well, that's fine. Oregon has plenty of losses to suffer this year. All right, guys. We actually have to go see our friend do the Star Spangled Banner, but we still got a little bit of time left for Buy, Sell, or Go to Hell, starring Matt Page. You're going to ask myself and Brian Solack some questions, and we have to respond. We have to respond whether we're going to buy it, whether we have to sell it because we don't like it, or if we're just going to tell them
to go to hell.
Yeah.
Go to hell.
Exactly.
All right, this is a good one. Okay, well, I'm going to start off with an old one. This I wrote for I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago. It was a headline of the day that we were doing it, but I never heard your guys' thoughts on it, so I want to touch on it. Dak Prescott turned down $30 million a year at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. What do you think of that?
I think he's an idiot. I think he does not deserve $40 million a year. I know someone here named Abraham responded on my
Stop
post.
saying deserve. Where does this word deserve keep
It's
coming
a negotiating
from? It's a
tactic,
negotiating
whatever.
tactic,
But
yeah.
I think it's a bunch of BS. A guy is barely worth $15 million in these days.
If you look at his stats, the stats bear out that he's a solid quarterback in this league, and the way that the NFL has been. What do you mean maybe, Matt?
He's not.
What do you mean maybe? The guy's never thrown more than 10 interceptions in a year.
I didn't say maybe.
And
I moved my hand back and forth, which kind of means eh.
Okay, fine. What do you mean
Jerry Jones pays for that offensive line. That's why. Otherwise, he would suck. This can go to hell. This one.
Oh boy, no. I think if you're the Cowboys, you need to buy him, make him a reasonable offer. You know, what you do is instead of giving him high, what you do is you guarantee the contract somehow.
Yeah, I can
I'm
see.
getting booted. Are you trying to tell me to go to hell?
Solack is booing Abraham right now.
Anyway,
I have to say I would agree with your negotiating tactic of giving him a lower number but a more higher guaranteed. I personally would not pay him more than $20 million a year. I don't view him as a franchise quarterback.
This is right. You guys are not general managers.
And as well, you're not. So
maybe I am of my fantasy football team.
I was going to say judging from your fantasy football team.
Also, I'm number 1 in our fantasy baseball league, so I just thought everybody should know that. I'm a great general manager.
He hasn't paid attention all season. But anyway, we're going to move on now to I want to give a shout out to our buddy. We haven't met him, but we're rooting hard for him. Jake Fraley had his MLB debut today. He went 0 for 3 and got a run though. I guess he had a fielder's choice. What are your guys' thoughts on Jake Fraley?
Oh yeah, I guess I better watch that so I can do the write-up on it. It was a day game. I was at work, people. Come on.
It was a 10 a.m. game on a Wednesday. I understand.
I like the kid. I'm buying into him. What did he play center today?
Played center today. Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely buying into the kid. Give him a chance. Let him start there the rest of the year. The kid's. What is he? Minor League Player of the Year? Somebody voted.
He is Baseball America's Minor League Player of the Year for the Seattle Mariners.
I mean, come on, you can't beat that. This guy, I'm buying totally.
All right, we're now going to go on to.
Are you buying?
Yeah, no, I can't say. I don't know. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen one play with this guy. I know he's a 5-tool player. I know he's got the stats, but I haven't watched today's game. I don't know.
He's got cool hair.
Reserving judgment. Okay. We're going to move on. Today was just announced a couple hours ago that the XFL's Seattle team is going to be the Seattle Dragons. Your thoughts?
I don't have many thoughts, but I think it's stupid.
I love it. I can't wait to watch it. So, I got a question for you guys. If Pete Carroll were their coach, would we have to call them the Pete's Dragons?
I saw that. That's a good one.
We wouldn't have to, but we would. Period.
I like it. The logo looks cool. The colors look cool. In February, I got nothing to watch. It's going to be a while before hockey gets here. So, come on. Give me some February, March, April football that I can ignore or watch at my own. I'm buying.
Okay, I should note that first of all that we do not know still what the differences in rules will be yet. We know it won't be the same XFL that it was 20 years ago or 19 years ago. But we do know that apparently, supposedly, they're not going to allow players who have criminal records. So I wonder how that's going to hit, how they're going to respond when Johnny Manziel wants to come play for them, because he's already said he wants to.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So we'll see if they actually stick to that. It's going to be a 10-game season with a 2-week playoff and then a final game. And it starts in April, or not April, February.
What are they going to call the bowl? Their final? Is it going to be like a WrestleMania, or what are they going to call it?
No idea yet. Probably XFL Bowl, or I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Jim Zorn is our coach. What are your thoughts on that?
Jim Zorn, I love the guy. I grew up watching him. I'm happy for the guy. He gets another chance.
I'll buy him. He only got 1 year at the Redskins, so XFL level, why not? Give the guy a go, and we may get to see his cool crew cut again.
All right. Paxton Lynch or Geno Smith?
I'm buying the haircut, by the way.
Okay. Paxton Lynch or Geno Smith?
Buying Paxton Lynch, 100%.
Yeah, sell Paxton Lynch, sell Geno Smith. Put JT Barrett on discount. These guys don't matter. Paxton Lynch didn't look good against the Vikings. Geno Smith didn't look good against the Broncos. JT Barrett, I sat there and I laughed because this is exactly what I said he was going to be when he came out of Ohio State. He's a system quarterback. He threw 50 10. I don't care. Shut up. He was no good. I don't like him.
All right.
You like Vogelbach better than him?
They're in the same category.
Rashad Penny, 12 carries, 13 yards on the preseason, and he's a first-round pick. Buy, sell, go to hell.
I'm on the fence right now. If he continues to not perform, then he can go to hell.
You can't sell is the only problem because I'd like to sell, but you're not going to get anything for him. And additionally, he doesn't show that he wants it as much as Chris Carson. I saw this game against the Vikings on Sunday night, and I see Chris Carson running hard in a preseason game. By God. And what does Penny do? He doesn't show up, and I don't know. Maybe it's just preseason, and it's you got to look at what he does in practice. That's fine, but he's facing scrubs from the Vikings. He should be lighting them up.
I loved the kid last year, so I don't. Is it all mental? Do you think then, or what?
I don't know. I'm ready to sell. I'm ready to just go to hell. Goodbye. Cut. Move on. First round pick is not. He hasn't shown any, even on the field when he got some runs last year. That was not first round talent. That was not.
Look, you're gonna miss on some guys. What hurts here is had you picked a defensive lineman like I was
Which
asking
we needed.
for. Yes, you could have had something. No, we didn't get it. We got a running backup, third string backup running back.
Yeah. All right. So here, final question because we are running short on time here. Kyler Murray. I don't know if either of you watched his preseason game this last weekend, but he's getting called for false starts a lot because his coach and him are implementing the clapping for snapping the ball. And under the rules of the NFL, any quick motion is grounds for false start.
Boy, it'd be nice if Cliff Kingsbury. First of all, I'm going to sell Cliff Kingsbury because he should at least know the rules. You don't have like in practice an official. They do. I know they do. Like in practice, they have officials that call penalties. Just in scrimmage and whatnot. You don't know that there. Nobody on your coaching staff said, "Hey, Cliff, maybe we shouldn't do that." Sell Cliff Kingsbury.
For the record, they actually showed him on the field before the game, talking to the refs, telling them about the clap and warning them.
The clap?
The clap. Yeah.
Oh,
in hopes that he wouldn't. Yeah. Moving on. In hopes that they wouldn't call a false start for it.
Kyler Murray, I like the kid, but this team's gonna be the laughing stock of the NFC West, at least.
Yeah, I can't blame Kyler Murray for this one. I didn't think he should be the first pick overall, but this is just a goofy, wacky head coach that's going to make, like you said, he's going to make this team a laughing stock, and that's good for the Seahawks because that means we'll get 2 wins every year for a little while. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up so we can go watch Ian Loney from the Seattle Opera. Is it Opera Company? I don't know what it's called. It's
Seattle Opera.
Just the Seattle Opera, okay. Who's going to perform the Star-Spangled Banner for all of us right before the Everdock Sox game. Thank you for joining us this week. My name is Abraham DeWeese. With me was Brian the Soulman, Solack, and Matt Page.
Soulman. Follow me on Twitter, Soulman156.
Oh, yes. Follow us on Twitter. Yes, do that.
And Aqua Sox are in town this whole weekend. Come.
Website.
All right, great. Have a good day, guys.